I don't even know where to start. This day of an event left a permanent impression in my memory, which I still remember vivid even to this day. My name is Jason. This happened during my late senior year of high school. I'm now in my late 20s, so it had been a few years since it happened, but I still remember it so well to even this day, and I will always remember that. And so, like many others will do as well. It all happened during my senior year of high school. It was a normal day and it started normal and calm, but it wasn't until lunchtime when it all broke down. And to this very day, it still haunts me and sometimes even gave me nightmares. You may understand why I get these nightmares. And at the time, I had just finished my lunch with my girlfriend Angela and my best friend Morgan and his girlfriend Lucy. All of us were in our senior year. The school wasn't even that big. It was a total of 180 students. And today, the whole school were in the gymnastic hall for a performance. When three guys walked in and started shooting in the ceiling, demanded that everyone be quiet and not to move. And how would I know it was three guys and not just one or two? Well, I later found out after this whole incident was over from other people who actually was there at the time. I wasn't there. So they told everyone to just be quiet, and they had placed four bombs somewhere in the school. And like I said, I wasn't there. I was on the opposite side of the school with Angela, Lucy, and Morgan. When we heard the gunshots echo in the building, we got scared. I should know I recognize the sound of gunshots because my family is hunters, and including myself. So I immediately recognized the sound and I told them that that's not just a pop sound from anything, but rather an actual gunshots. So we quickly hid where we were just in case if someone was there. We only whispered and I heard some screams and some other shots and it stopped. Later I learned it was 10 guys that had entered the school and they had walked in and placed a guard at every door, like exit doors, front door, the entrance, and all that, just in case that anyone would try just to leave. In a gym hall, they had to hand over all the phones to them so that no one would call for help. But of my group, I was the only one who had a phone. Morgan, Luz, and Angela had it in their lockers. I told them we need to leave the school through a window somewhere, but they didn't want to risk it. But I told them we had to do something. I told them to have to follow me so we wouldn't get. So we came to a room, told them to lock the door after me, and I would want to leave. So I tried to get them to join me, but they weren't. I gave Angela a kiss and they quickly jogged away from the place. When I saw an exit door was guarded, I didn't realize the doors was likely were also guarded, and it hit me. I could sneak out from the windows in the boys' bathroom was not that far from where I were, so I managed to sneak there. But when I got to the window, I heard a sound, and to my horror, one of the guys saw me, and I was halfway through the window, and he demanded that I'd crawl back in or he'd shoot me. I was halfway through, so I took the chance and jumped out, but then he shot once. It hit me in the stomach, but I didn't feel the pain due to the fact that my blood was pumping with adrenaline. And at least I didn't know what I was at the time I was shot. So I ran. As soon as I hit the ground, I picked up my phone and called for 911 right away. After the police arrived with the SWAT team's ambulance, they took me, and it was then when my adrenaline faded when I started to feel that sharp pain in my stomach, and I hadn't even noticed the blood that had been pouring my shirt. And I was taken to the hospital, and the guy who shot me apparently had informed the others, and they knew there was only a matter of time before the police was there. Angela, Lucy, and Morgan were still in the dark room waiting for help. They were scared, and I told them to not make any sound, not even a whisper. The only light they had was from the crack under the door. Eventually, the SWAT team manages to get in, stop the guys from harming others, or the other students and staff. Then the bomb squad was called in. The bombs they said had been placed was actual bombs. And it turned out they were hoping these bombs would destroy the whole school and take everyone with it, regardless. And at the time, Angela heard a SWAT team, and she put a piece of paper at the door to tell them that there were students in hiding. They were taken out, and the bombs were eventually found disarmed. My friends learned I wasn't the only one that was harmed, and in fact, I was in surgery at the time. When Angela found that out, she passed out of the shock. But I managed to pull through. Ale was praised by as a hero for saving my friends and everyone else at the school. I was later told that the guys that were at school was actual former students that had been dropped out, or, well, I later find out they were literally dropped out because they were bullied by some other students. And since the school didn't want much helpfulness, they decided to take revenge on the school and everyone inside, regardless if they were students or staff. I later learned that they got 50 years of their actions for the school, which, in hindsight, was probably a good punishment for all. I'm sure it was the worst thing in my life. I could have died, but I don't regret it, cause I saved everyone's life. If I would have given the chance to do it again, would I? Definitely, I would do it again. I finished high school, and sometimes when I meet old classmates, we do talk about our high school years. Uh, well, in that time, that particular topic always usually comes up, and well, and like I said, it still haunts me to this day. And I am now married with Angela. We have a boy and a girl. We will tell them about the time in high school, especially this particular day. And and to those guys who was actually arrested, I hope you don't will let out of prison ever. Considering what happened, these guys was just simply former high school students that was dropped out because they were bullied and and they tried to get to school for help, but somehow school couldn't prove it or couldn't do much. Without any actual evidence, they sort of dropped out. This for more information that I later found out sometimes after this incident. I was shocked, but after the school learned more about this, they decided to focus to look into more of this matter. And those students that they were bullied, the bullies, they were named by the former students. And those bullies was eventually expelled. And I could not imagine it. I mean, if those bullies had been prevented from doing this in the first place, none of this would have ever happened. But in the end, I'm just glad that none of this wasn't really seriously happened anymore. But this kind of things happens all the time. And when I first heard that they had placed 4 bombs. I was like, bombs? They were even not only the bombs, but they were equipped with rifles, handguns, and some other things. But they were going so far to blow up the whole school to take everyone inside of it. That was maybe a too drastic, but I'm just glad all of this was prevented. And to the guys who actually made this happen, that scarred me and countless of other students and staff, let us hope that we never see you again. For that, I'm very grateful that I'm still alive and that I eventually did continue my life to end up to be marrying with my beloved Angela. So, to everyone else, hope you all have a good time. Enjoy school.